Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're an oldie, thank you so much for always sticking with me. My name is Adora Uzoma. I'm a Nigerian Canadian based in London, Ontario, Canada, and I love to create content about how you can come to Canada as a new immigrant and how you can navigate life here. So in today's video, we're going to be looking at how you can fill out the IMM5257e form. Now this form is called the application for visitor visa. In bracket here it says temporary resident visa. So you might be wondering, who is a temporary resident in Canada? So a temporary resident visa is also referred to as a visitor's visa and is an official document issued by a Canadian visa office that is placed in your passport to show that you have met the requirements for admission to Canada as a temporary resident. Now, a temporary resident can either be a visitor, a student, or a worker. These types of people fall under temporary residents in Canada. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you how you can fill out this form correctly. I have already pre-filled it before starting this video, so there's just going to be a seamless video for you guys to follow through. Okay, so first things first, what do we have here? The first thing we have here is your UCI number, which is also called the unique client identifier. If you don't have that number, that's okay. You can find this UCI number in all your immigration documents. If you don't have, this is your first time, then obviously you don't have a UCI number. Okay, so the second thing we're looking at here is asking, I want service in. So you're going to pick what language is most suitable for you. You want it in English or French? So I'm going ahead to select English, and then it's asking here for the type of visa you're requesting. So I clicked on the visitor visa. It also gives option here for transit visa, but for this video we're just looking at visitor visa. Okay, so personal details. So personal details here is asking for your full name as shown on your passport or travel document. So the first one here, it's the family name. So your family name is also called your last name or your surname. So I've put here Anderson. That's the name that I made up for this video. And then given names, which includes your first name and your middle name if you have one. I put here Mary Rose. So given names as also shown on your passport or travel documents. Please put exactly what is on your travel documents. Alrighty, so have you ever used any other name, example nicknames, maiden names, alias, etc.? So if you're someone who is married and you have a maiden name, you can fill that out here. If you click on yes, you will see that it gives you the option to put in your previous name or your nickname or maiden name or whatever. If you don't have, you just say no. So I just put in no, and you can see that you already grayed out that box for me. Okay, so sex, female, male, unknown, another gender. So select whatever is applicable to you. So I've gone ahead to select female. Date of birth 1980 December 12th. Date of place of birth, city or town Lagos, country Nigeria, citizenship Nigeria. Okay, then it's asking here the current country or territory of residence. So where are you currently living? So current country or territory of residence, I put in here Nigeria, status citizen, and because I'm a citizen of Nigeria, it grayed out all this information for me because I'm a citizen of the country. So let's say you're in Nigeria, you're not a citizen of Nigeria or whatever country that you're currently residing in, and you put like a visitor. It's going to ask you how long have you been from what time to what time. If you've been in a different country as a worker, it's going to ask you from what time to what time. So I just put here that the current country that I'm residing in, I'm a citizen, and you find that it grayed out all that information here for me. Okay, so moving on here is asking previous countries or territory of residence. So during the past 5 years, have you lived in any country or territory other than your country of citizenship or your current country or territory of residence for more than 6 months? Okay, so in the last five years, have you lived in any other country other than your country of citizenship for more than 6 months? So if you have, you can go ahead and click on yes, and then put all that information, the country name, your status from what time to what time. If you have not lived in a different country for more than 6 months, go ahead and click no, and keep in mind is for the past 5 years. Okay, alrighty. So the next one we're looking at here is the country or territory where you're applying. So if it's the same as your country of residence, go ahead and say yes. Otherwise, if you click no, you have to put all that information in this, boxes here. So I went ahead to say yes, is the same country or territory of residence. Okay, so your current marital status. So I put here single. If you have an annulled marriage, or you're a common law, divorced, legally separated, married, unknown, widowed, select whatever that is applicable to you, and then put in the dates and all that. Okay, so provide the name of your current spouse or common law partner. That is for people who are married. So if you put here that you're married, it's going to ask for your current spouse or common law partner. If you're the common law partner, you put here common law. It's going to ask you, to provide the date, your partner's name, and all that. So I just put here that I'm single, so that doesn't apply to me. Okay, so page 2 is asking here, so personal details continued. Have you previously been married or in a common law relationship? I put here no, and you see that all these boxes are already grayed out for me. If I select yes, I have to fill out all this form, all these boxes. So the family name, the date of birth. So provide the following details for your previous spouse or common law partner. So this is for someone who has been previously married or was in a common law relationship. So you have to fill out all this information of your previous spouse or common law partner, their first and last name, their date of birth, your relationship with them, if you were married to the person or if you're in a common law relationship, from what time to what time. If it's not applicable to you, if you've never been married, go ahead and click on no, and you will see that this whole box has been grayed out for you. Languages. So it's asking here for your native language or mother tongue. So I put here Igbo. So the last video that I made for study visa, somebody was saying that I should have put English. No, it's asking for your native or mother tongue. So obviously Nigeria, even though English is our official language, is not our mother tongue. English is not our mother tongue, so you cannot put English here. So if you're Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo, Ibibio, whatever tribe you're from, please put it in here. And then it's going to ask you in this second section, are you able to communicate in English and or French? Then go ahead and select what is applicable to you. So I put here English. So it says here English, French, both or neither. So I put in here English. Okay. Alrighty. So passport. So have you taken a test from a designated testing agency to assess your proficiency in English or French? If you have, say yes. If you haven't, say no. Okay, so passport. So put in your passport number, which is shown on the data page of your passport. The country or territory of issue. So what country issued your passport? I put in Nigeria. If yours is a different country, put in the country name. The issue date, I put in here 2023 January 1st till 2028 January 1st. So put in exactly what is shown on your passport. All these, I just made up all these numbers here, so don't follow what I put in here. Look at your data page and put in exactly what is on your data page. So automatically here is already graded out for me. So it's asking, for this trip, will you use a passport issued by the Minister of Foreign Affairs in Taiwan that includes your personal identification number? So it's an automatic no. For this trip, will you use a national Israeli passport? Nope. So all those portions are already graded out for me because my passport was issued in Nigeria. Okay, so national identity document. Do you have a national identity document? If you don't have, simply say no. If you do have, go ahead and say yes, and then put in your document number, the country of issue, the issue date as well as the expiry date. Okay, and then USPR card. Are you a lawful permanent resident of the United States with a valid alien registration card, which is also a green card? I put in here no. If you have one, once you click on yes, it's going to ask for your document number as well as your expiry date. So I'll go ahead and say no. Okay, so contact information. So if submitting your application by mail, all correspondence will go to this address unless you indicate your email address below. Indicating an email address will authorize all correspondence, including file and personal information, to be sent to the email address you specify. If you wish to authorize the release of information from your application to a representative, indicate their email and mailing addresses in the section and on IMM5257e form, which is a different type of form. Okay, alrighty, so it's asking for your current mailing address. So where do you want correspondence to be sent? So I've gone ahead to put in an address here, 243 Herbert Macaulay Way, Unit 45 in Lagos, Nigeria. And then residential address, this is where you live, because some people have their residential address is actually different from their mailing address. So if it's same as your mailing address, you can say yes. If it's different, go ahead and say no, and then give your residential address information down here in these boxes. So I'll go back and click on yes because my mailing address is the same as my residential address. Telephone number. Okay, so the country I put here other, the type of telephone number, so they have options of residence, cellular or business. So I've gone ahead to click on cellular, the country code as well as the phone number. If you have an alternative phone number, also indicate that here as well and put in the same information, the type of telephone, if it's residence or whatever, and then put in the country code, etc. So yeah. Oh yeah, so I just have one phone number for this video. Okay, and then fax information. If you have any fax information, put all that in this box, and then your email address, which I already put in here as well. Okay, so we're looking at page 3 here, which is the details of visit to Canada. So what is your purpose of visit? So there are different reasons why people want to come to Canada to visit. The list is limitless, so people come to visit as on business, purposes. People come as tourism, short-term study. Short-term studies means that you're coming to study for less than 6 months. If you're a returning student, if you're a returning worker, if you're coming as for super visa, this is only for parents and grandparents, other and family visits, and then the last one here says visits. So I'm not sure what's visit, like you're just coming. Why are you coming to visit, for what purpose, right? So you always have to indicate the reason for coming. So I just put here family visit. So whatever that is applicable to you, please put it in this box here. Alrighty, so I just wanted to quickly chip this in because this is very, very important for those who have people that want to invite them to come to Canada. Maybe you want to come and visit a family member, you want to visit a friend, you want to visit an uncle, an auntie, your parents, your siblings, whatsoever. They have to send you an invitation letter. They have to write an invitation letter, and this is very, very compulsory because if you're coming to Canada, you say that you have a family member or you have someone that is inviting you. You need to show proof, a letter from that person, showing that they're actually inviting you to come to Canada to come and see them. I'm going to leave the link for this in the description box. Go through this page. This is directly from the CIC website. So it talks about, in their letter, they're going to talk about you, the person that you're inviting. They're going to put your complete name, your date of birth, your address and telephone number, their relationship with you, the purpose of your trip, how long you plan to stay in Canada, where you're going to stay, how you're going to be paying for things, when you plan to leave Canada. So all that has to be in the invitation letter, okay? And then for those coming for business trips, so business visitors can be, people who are potential buyers, who are investors, who are coming for trade shows, conference visitors, partners, employees, individuals coming for training at the company's facility. So all these people fall under business visitors. This is what the company or the institution is going to provide for you. So all that is here. Alrighty, so having said all that, moving on. So under details of visit to Canada, we're going to be looking here. Indicate how long you plan to stay. So you're going to put from the time frame. So for this video, I put in here for 2023 October 1st till 2023 October 12th. If you notice, I didn't put it for a very lengthy time. It's very wise to choose from 2 to 3 weeks. Because if you put something like a month or 2 months or 3 months, it begins to raise eyebrows to a visa officer. They'll begin to wonder, don't you have other commitments back home? Don't you have things to do back home? If you say that you're working, you're employed, are you not supposed to return back to work? What are you doing off work for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, right? So yeah, it's very, very wise when you're applying for your visitor's visa. Put for a minimal time so that it doesn't raise any red flags. And also for the funds available for your stay, put something that is very reasonable. So for 2 weeks, $7,000 should cover for my stay. If I'm coming alone without any family, if I'm single, if you're coming with your family or your children, they factor all that into consideration, because people ask, oh, how much range should I put? Make it make sense. If I'm single and I'm coming with like 5,000 to 7,000 for just a 2 week period, it is going to make sense to a visa officer that I have enough funds that will last me for that long, right? Also, it also depends on where you're going to stay. If the person that is inviting you is going to be housing you for free, or if you're going to be paying for hotel bills. So put in the funds, you have to factor all that into consideration, what you're going to be buying and stuff like that. If the person that is hosting you is going to be paying for your feeding, is going to be paying for your accommodation, then they are taking care of that part. But if you're the one that's going to be sponsoring your feeding, your accommodation, your the things you're going to buy and stuff like that, you have to, the funds you're going to be putting here should make sense to the visa officer, because they are going to put all that into consideration. If you're coming with family, if you're coming with children, how much are you coming with? They put all that into consideration. So make sure they have enough funds for the duration of time you're going to be staying, as well as the number of people you're coming with, right? If you're coming with family, then make it make sense. I hope you guys understand what I mean. Okay, so name, address, and relationship of the persons or institution that will invite you. Like I already said earlier, if it's for here I put sister, I put her full name. If it's an institution or your work, you're gonna put the institution name. If it's let's say you work for, I don't know, let's just say Shell Canada, you can just put in here Shell Canada, which is the institution that's inviting you for like a conference. Their relationship to you, you can say here my employer. People have to put your address in Canada and stuff like that. So make sure that you have all that information in this form. Okay, and then education. So the education part is asking here for your have you had any post-secondary education, include university, college, or apprenticeship program? So yes. If yes, give details of your highest. Don't go and put all the education that you've had in the past, because as you can see here, they only give one option, which is this one here, just one section for you to fill out your education, and it's only for your highest level. So if your highest level is a bachelor's degree or a master's degree or PhD or whatever it is, so just your highest level. Okay, so for here I just put in here from 2005 September to 2009 September, Bachelor of Arts. The school name is University of Lagos in Lagos, Nigeria. Okay, it doesn't give option for province or state. Yeah, it doesn't let me type in there. So yeah, so just put in your highest level of education. And then for employment is for the past 10 years. Okay, for the past 10 years. Don't put for the past 15 years. So whatever you've been doing for the past 10 years, please put all that information here. If you've been a civil servant or a judge, police officer, mayor, member of parliament, if you work in a hospital, administrator, if you're, whatever, do not leave gaps, please. You've retired, if you're not working or you're studying, please indicate. So here I put in for the past 10 years from 2013 January till 2023 March. I'm a bank manager at Fidelity Bank in Lagos, Nigeria. So let us assume that you're just a fresh graduate and you got a job as a relationship manager, a relationship officer, or a business, whatever position you have. Let's say that you are doing that for the past 5 years, right? You're going to put that, so the 5-year duration from here to here. And okay, so what happens to the previous 5 years, right? Because they're asking for the past 10 years. So if you're unemployed for the last 5 years before you got a new job, you have to put in here, from so time to so time, what were you doing? You put here, I was unemployed. Oh, sorry, give me 1 second. So company name, so previous activity or occupation. So if you're a student, you can put here you're a student for the past, before you started work. You put in student, you put in your school name, from what time to what time. If you were unemployed, you put in that you were unemployed, you did not have any job at the time. Employer, you can just put here not applicable and stuff like that. I hope this makes sense to you guys. If you guys have any questions, do ask, because sometimes some subscribers tell me, oh, I didn't get past a particular session. What if I wasn't working so time? What do I do? So if you're not working at that time, yeah, just put unemployed. City not applicable, that's fine. Nobody's gonna ding you for that, right? So yeah, so that's what here is all about for the past 10 years. Okay, so moving on, this is the 4th page, so we're in page 4 or 5. Here it's just asking for your background information, and you have to complete this section if you're 18 years or older. So for the past 2 years, have you or any family member had tuberculosis of the lungs, blah blah blah? I put in here no. Any physical or mental disorder, blah blah blah. I put in here no. So because I selected no, this entire box is grayed out. If you've had any of these issues, please explain in details what the problem was. Okay. Have you ever remained beyond the validity of your status, attended school without authorization, or worked without authorization in Canada? If you have, say yes, then explain what exactly happened. If that wasn't your case, no. Have you ever been refused a visa or permit, denied entry to leave Canada or any other country? Please don't lie in this session, because if you've been denied visa in the UK, right, and you're now trying to come to Canada, and you now come and say here no, thinking that they will not know. They know, they communicate with each other. All these countries, US, Canada, Europe, they all communicate. So if you lie, they are going to know. So if you have been refused visa or permit, if you've been denied entry or ordered to leave Canada or any other country, if you have, my dear, put yes. Then explain what happened. Okay? So if that wasn't your case, put no. Have you previously applied to enter or remain in Canada? If you have before, if whatever applies to you, please select the appropriate answer. Okay. Have you ever committed, been arrested for, been charged with, or convicted of any criminal offense in any country or territory? If you have, put it here, explain. If you haven't, click no and then move to the next question. Did you serve in any military or civil defense units, etc.? If you have, say yes, explain. If you haven't, say no and move to the next question. Are you or have you been a member or associated with any political party or other group of organization which has engaged in or advocated violence? No. If whatever your case is, put that there. Have you ever witnessed or participated in ill treatment of prisoners, civilians, looting, or desecration of religious buildings? Whatever your case is, I just put here no. I hope that is not your case. I hope all my subscribers have not had this issue before. Okay, and then we're on the last page. Okay, so this is where your signature comes in. Make sure that you read all this before you go ahead to consent. So it's asking here, do you consent to be contacted by CIC or an organization at CIC's request in the future? Oh, why did I put here no? Okay, so yes. So you should always put yes. Do you consent to release the citizenship or regulation? Blah blah blah. I declare that I have answered all questions in this application fully and truthfully. Then you put in the name of applicant. If you're a minor, if you're under 18, then your parent or legal guardian has to sign here on your behalf. Okay, and then put in today's date. And once all that is done, you click on validate. Validate. So it says here validation completed successfully. Okay. And then once you scroll down, this shows you here, this is a proof that this document has been validated. Okay. And yeah, so you save file, you save it. You can choose a file name. Once you save all that, save it to your computer, and then you can upload this alongside with other documents for your visitor visa application. Okay, so it's pretty, I think it's pretty straightforward, pretty self-explanatory. I hope I was able to touch on, you know, all the aspects of this application. If you have any issues, I hope not that won't be your case, but do ask questions in the comment section down below. I have already done a video on how you can apply for visitors visa. So once you head to my YouTube channel, under videos, under popular, you will see here how to apply for a Canadian visitor visa in 2023, step-by-step process, as well as the visual demonstration. So this is like a 40-minute video. I give detailed explanation on how you can apply for a visitor's visa, so do check it out. It's the most watched video in this channel. And thank you so much for the reviews in this video. Thank you so much. Please keep them coming. And you know, having said that, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, like you can see here, please click on the subscribe button. Thank you so much for the 1,000 plus subscribers already, you know, active member of this channel. And yeah, if you haven't, you know, liked my videos or liked this video, please like it, please share with your family and friends. You know, there are tons of videos coming up very shortly, so do keep your seatbelts on because we are in for a ride. Alrighty, so yeah, so without much further ado, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much if you stuck to the end of this video with me, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.